Welcome back to Seen It Before, where we're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. I'm Danny.
I'm Dan, and we have a weird setup today. We don't have a director, so Danny is director. And, so we also don't have a wide shot because my phone is dumb.
This would have been the wide shot.
Yeah. Oh, damn. You didn't see me throw my phone.
You just dropped your...
You didn't see me throw it. It's fine. It's gone. It's over now. Anyway.
It's all over now.
So, anyway, we have a guest today for our movie, Fantastic Four, the 2005 version.
That's Paul.
Hello.
One of our best episodes, actually, for a conversation we had with you last time on The Lion King.
Thank you.
That was real fun. I really wish you did that lion get up you were talking about last time. That would have been great to see.
I will admit, I thought about doing like some type of Doom get up for this one, but as you can see, all I did was just the t-shirt.
Yeah,
so that's
you're
fine.
representing this.
Yeah.
You are representing, unlike both of us, so that's perfect.
It's
great.
Vote Doom.
Vote Doom. Vote Doom. Well, all right. So, I think it's time we get into this. Let's get to it.
So we just watched Fantastic Four. Well, we didn't just watch it, but I watched it a couple...
You watched it until the bridge scene. Let's be real.
I did what? Yeah.
I actually just watched it a couple hours ago for the second time.
Oh, my God. I watched it a couple hours ago as well.
I'm still getting used to my switching.
Still getting used to the switching. He has not done this.
Pardon me.
Pardon.
There's a there's a reason why I haven't been directing before, because one track mind, I can't really talk and give my very juicy tidbits and my thoughts on the movies while also doing immaculate directing. So
it's funny seeing as how we all have multitasking jobs. Whatever.
Yeah. Danny, did you see my face in the background there? Did you see what I did?
I was looking at the camera. So
hey.
wait, do it again.
Hey. Okay, so let's get back to the movie now.
Yes.
So, Paul, you did a lot of research leading up to this movie.
A little bit. The main amount of research that I did was watching a lot of Fantastic Four stuff, just because I mentioned to both of you that I had a theory. And my theory was that with the Fantastic Four, now they are Marvel's first family, but I find that it's difficult to level off the amount of seriousness as far as the drama and like the science, because they are a very science-driven family, especially Mr. Fantastic being one of the smartest people on the planet is in the Marvel universe. Yeah. But the other level of it is they have to have some humor aspects to it and also some cheesiness. And I find that finding a correct balance of the two is very difficult. And I noticed that in watching, as I told you guys before, I watched every single Fantastic Four thing in the past month and even read some of the comic books. And that is very difficult. I have to say, the 2005 film that we're reviewing today is probably actually one of the better balances that I've seen of what I watched.
Which one's the best?
Probably the 2005 film, actually.
Okay, cool.
Okay, because I was gonna say, because I remember hearing the discourse around this movie where or this series of movies where everyone Rise of Silver Surfer a little more than the first one. So but I like this one way better. So I don't know.
I'd have to say the only thing that Rise of the Silver Surfer has going for it is the Silver Surfer. Because as far as Galactus, he's just a giant cloud. That I went back and watched that as well. I thought you saw Galactus's face a little bit more. I suppose my memories just wanted to be oh, I did see him. No, you didn't really see him.
It's a little foggy.
Yeah,
just a little foggy.
Because he's actually a giant cloud, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, yes, in that movie, yes. You do see when he's passing by Saturn, you see remnants of his helmet and stuff like that. But that's about it. Other than the 2 seconds that you see his face when the Silver Surfer goes into the cloud to destroy him.
Yep.
But yeah, that's about it.
Oh well.
Yeah.
So the visuals of this movie are very mid 2000s.
Yes.
But the practical effects on the thing are some of the best, probably in Marvel, practically.
Oh yeah, I have to give credit to what's the name of the actor who played the Thing?
Michael Chiklis.
Yes, he like they were leaning towards doing like a CGI thing, but like he actually grew up reading the comic books and he was a huge fan of the Thing, so he wanted to play that character, which apparently I guess was brought to him by one of his best friends or something like that. And he very much leaned towards like it being, you know, realistic. So he had to, I forget how long it took, but it took him like at least a couple of hours to put on the suit. Yes, to put on the suit every day. And I give him props because like doing stuff like that can like cause people to have like claustrophobia and other things like that and like freak out. So the fact that he did that like every day for the scenes is impressive.
Yeah, that's what happened with Jim Carrey with the Grinch costume.
I was just going to say that. He usually got like placed in. Oh, same thing with what's his name, Robert Englund, and with Freddy Krueger.
Yep.
He would like, you know, there's a famous photo of him peeling it off, like his last day of filming. He's like, you know, so he's like really happy to get out of that. But I'm glad they went with this practical design because I thought one of the weaker aspects of, you know, I'm always going to compare it to the remake throughout this episode.
Fan Four Stick.
Yeah, that one like. The CGI looks really weird on Jamie Bell, like the Thing. So
yeah, I agree. And like that film, I felt like went much too serious, not enough like humor aspect to it. But yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. And that was the only version where like I actually saw the Thing completely naked, and I was just like, where's his Speedo?
Yeah. I was gonna say he's rock hard.
there are some rock jokes throughout that film, and like I did appreciate that as well. And that, again, that goes back to the humor aspect, finding a nice balance, you know, between those.
Yeah. Danny really hated when I did that.
You suck at dad.
Yeah, you totally just did a Jim Halpert to the camera, and it was great. I loved it. But yeah.
Oh. Well, no, we'll come back to that later. But I'm glad you mentioned The Office. But well, no, it's just the fact
John
that
Krasinski.
Well, yes, because the only mention of was a Fantastic Four that we've had in the MCU so far. It was in what the heck was it? Doctor Strange 2: Multiverse of Madness, where we went into another universe and met Mr. Fantastic, who is go ahead.
Yes.
Where we get? I don't even know we had that one. Like,
yeah, we haven't used it.
Oh, it was sitting right there. But all right. But yeah, no, we met. Was it? Say his name again. Jim
Halpert.
Jim Halpert, played by
Halpert.
John Krasinski.
Well, John Krasinski playing Mr. Fantastic, which I thought was a great pick. Which is actually a fan pick for Mr. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I was behind that fan pick for a long time.
Yeah,
still am.
Okay, so here's my only thing. John Krasinski, I love the guy. He only plays himself. So is John Krasinski,
unless it's A Quiet Place,
is Jim no, he played Jim. It was basically just another Jim. It was a serious Jim.
I will admit I've never seen that movie, but I have seen what's the show where he's on Amazon where he plays like a military guy.
Jack Ryan.
That's it. Yes,
yeah.
That is a great role and a great show. For him, and like it took me like a couple of episodes to get used to the fact that he's not Jim from The Office, but once I did, it's a completely different character for him. So I will admit, yes, there are when he's doing humor stuff, a lot of the time, yes, he is basically Jim from The Office, but if he's not, then he kind of is different, different, but it is.
All right, let's bring it back to this movie.
Yes.
Michael Chiklis, to me, is the best part of this movie. And I don't know, like, I don't know how to pronounce Mr. Fantastic's real name. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I think
Ian something.
Yeah, Ian Grufford, I want to say.
I don't want to even try.
All right, just say Ian.
Is it Ian?
I think it's Ian.
I just remember, so... I hope anybody remembers this. I remember seeing a promo with him because after he's done with these movies, he disappeared. Then he was in this show called Forever, I think, where the promo was him waking up naked in the Hudson River or like the Boston Harbor or something like that. And he's like, I live forever, and I'm like, that's so stupid.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's odd. Sorry, go ahead.
I know Julian McMahon, the guy that played Doctor Doom. He was in Nip Tuck, and he was in a few other things.
He was also in Charmed.
Yes.
Where he was one of the villains, where like I did watch some of that show a little bit back in the day. And when I was rewatching this movie, like the way that he plays Doom kind of reminds me of his character from Charmed just a little bit.
And I know there's a lot of backlash with how he performed as Doom in this series, and a lot of people did not like him as Doom.
Yeah, I will admit that's another aspect that I find that is difficult is nobody has really perfected Doom on screen yet.
So give us a little backstory more about Doom, if you can.
All right. Well, he's from a foreign country called Latveria, where he's actually a prince. And he comes to America to go to school and for college, which is where he meets Reed Richards, and they become basically lab buddies and friends, and obviously eventually greatest mortal enemies. They kind of have like a similar start out as far as friends, like Professor X and Magneto.
Okay.
Not to diminish it.
What?
But it sounds a little bit. Have you ever seen Austin Powers Goldmember?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds a little bit like I made the honor roll. So did I, baby. And then, Austin.
I never made that comparison before.
That's a weird comparison.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. But with Doom, I find that he doesn't really as far as I remember, he doesn't really have any actual powers, which for some reason they kept making in the movies. I find that he's kind of a cross blend between like an Iron Man and a Doctor Strange.
Yeah, because he was never in space with them in the comics when that happened.
No. Like I believe it was like some type of lab accident that Doom blames Richards for. Which is why the hate, and also he also has a crush on Susan Storm. But yeah,
I would also have a crush on Jessica Alba. Just saying.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you, but yeah, no, he basically has a very Iron Man type mechanical suit, but he also dabs in the dark. Magical arts?
It's like, is it like Celtic or like medieval magic or?
Yeah, pretty much. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. But that's basically him. But yeah, no, he goes home to rule in Latveria and bounces back between the two countries every so often. But the difference between him and most villains is that he actually is fighting for a better planet. So he is technically kind of a good guy. It's just the fact that he is willing to do things that the heroes aren't willing to do. Like, for instance, you can, better the planet by, doing this, but it's going to also kill probably about 1 million people. Well, that's fine with Doom. So
he's Thanos?
Well,
a little bit
in the aspect of the way that they made Thanos for the MCU. Yes.
He's the EPA.
Because yes, there he is. But
there we go.
But the difference, as I close my laptop to show off Doom, the difference between him, I found this in my research, as we've been talking more lately, because the multiverse is a huge thing in the MCU right now.
Yep.
I'm not sure if you guys were aware of this, but in all of the multiverses, the only one where the Earth has achieved peace, world peace, is where Doom wins and conquers the world.
Fantastic.
So again, vote Doom.
I wasn't even thinking that. Shit. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I got a little trivia fact here.
Yes.
So in 2003, Peyton Reed, the guy that directs the Ant-Man movies, pitched a Fantastic Four movie. Basically, it's like the movie A Hard Day's Night.
Okay.
Basically.
They're already celebrities?
With superheroes.
Oh.
Yes. And the proposed cast was Alexis Denisoff as Reed Richards, Charlize Theron as Sue Storm.
Okay.
Paul Walker as Johnny Storm.
I heard about that.
Okay.
John C. Reilly as Ben Grimm. That's a weird choice, but
maybe.
And Jude Law as Dr. Doom.
Oh.
Yo, he died on my birthday. You know that?
No, I did not know that.
That's sad.
And the weird thing, I was watching Fast Five when I heard the news.
Jesus, that's awful. That's awful.
Ouch. Oh well. Well,
Moment of silence for Paul.
Moment of silence for Paul Walker. All right. Silence over.
yes.
Okay. So back to this movie. The very first scene we open on this movie is like a big statue of, Doom or Victor Von Doom and
Yes.
everything.
Which it doesn't look anything like him.
No, also it foreshadows the end when he's frozen in a statuesque form.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So it's just all comes full circle. You like that, Danny?
It was crazy. They used the power of science
Yeah.
to defeat this mad. Also, I like that. The statue is in like. If you look at Paul's shirt, it's like it looks like that material, like the metal material.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see.
Which I do like, and I do like that he put the mask on because what the heck is it? I saw in the 2015 version, he's not even wearing a mask. It's all just him. Similar
Well, it's
a little
melded
bit.
to his face though. Like that's
It's weird.
It's like similar to the 2005 one where like, he's becoming like this metal type substance, but like it's even more so in the 2015 version. But I definitely like it just because I find Doom to kind of be like Marvel's Phantom of the Opera, where like he doesn't want anyone to see his face just because he went from being like a pretty boy to now he's like, this hideous looking creature.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's funny because you got the two of those guys that are in the Marvel universe like in the frame right now. You got Doctor Doom and Deadpool.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's like his whole thing in the first movie, right? Like,
Yeah, that is true. Except with Deadpool, he's a funny guy. With Doom,
Just depressed.
Don't make a joke.
Hey, Danny.
oh,
Well,
when do we?
do you not
pulling
even
these out from?
do you not even know what action figures you have on your set?
Sometimes
I'm the one that sets them up. That's why.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
I just know that we have the boy, and then we just got. Is Zombie Cap America on there?
Yeah, he's right here.
Yep.
Oh.
You can pick
Oh,
him
here,
up.
I'll pick up. I'll pick
Yeah, I
him
don't
up.
have a camera view
All
of
right.
him, so
There he is.
yeah, we got that one for Christmas. That was pretty cool.
And I had the boy.
Hi, boy.
Okay, so
Yes.
Debs, Debs, Ben Grimm's wife or girlfriend, whatever she was.
Andrea from The Walking
She's
Dead.
such a bitch. And
God,
she's the worst part of this movie. I was like, why?
Well, yeah, because all she married him for was his hot looks.
I know. He's like,
bro, he looks like a thumb anyway.
but well, he's still himself.
Yeah, he looks better than a giant orange rock monster.
Yeah, he's not, totally rock hard. As I'm going to keep bringing up.
just
Why? Why? The first
Okay.
time was fine. I let it slide.
I know.
like a rock slide.
Like a rock slide. Ah, damn it, you beat me to it. All right.
Damn it, you guys.
Yeah, so Debs is the worst part of this movie. And then she just leaves the ring at the end of the bridge battle. Like, what the fuck?
And you feel so bad for him because his fingers are so big he can't even pick it up.
It was Michael Chiklis' idea, too, to do that.
Are you
Originally, he
serious?
was going to be able to pick it up.
Oh my
But
god.
That was actually a really genius scene.
Yeah.
Also, she's still a bit like, she sees him and like runs away from him first. Okay, I get a little shocking. Then she's like, "Oh, he's fighting out on the bridge. I'm gonna go there go through all the traffic, and then take off the ring in front of him.
Well, I
in front of him. How shitty is that?
I think she mainly just went there to give the ring back, anyways.
But, like, that's so bitchy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Is there not a mean way to give a ring back?
But, like,
I mean,
he didn't even get a chance to explain anything. She wouldn't even listen to him.
Yeah, that's
put it in a cake. I'd be happy with
put it
that.
in a cake.
Yeah, because then at least you have cake.
Yeah, with your tears in them.
Oh, God. All right.
The sweet, salty tear cake.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
You watched part of the TV series, right? And all that stuff?
Yes, I did. I watched the two animated series, the one from 1994 and I want to say like 2003 or something like that.
Okay.
The first one, because like I had mentioned to you that I used to watch back in the day the Spider-Man animated series, which I loved.
I love that show.
Yep, the X-Men animated series, which I loved. I also used to watch some of the Iron Man animated series and the Hulk animated series. So I was like, why did I never watch the anime, or excuse me, the Fantastic Four animated series from that era. And I started watching. I was like, oh, now
This is
I
why.
remember. Because, like, I will admit, it's a great show. It's just immensely cheesy. They kind of change it up a little bit after like episode 14, but it's still immensely cheesy, very much like the original comic books.
Gotcha.
But it is a great show. And mentioning that, also the early 2000s version was a bit more on, like, I'd say, like, anime style, like American anime. It was very interesting, also immensely cheesy, but like similar to like the style of shows going around at that time. But the thing that I noticed that was in that show, the 94 show, and the comic books, that I'm kind of hoping that they do as far as the humor factor for eventually in the movies is they always have neighbors in the Baxter building who are getting annoyed by all the crazy things that the Fantastic Four do or get into. And like the neighbors are never like the same names. So I would love it but it's always like, some like, cranky woman who is getting annoyed by it. So I would love if they did a neighbor who's named Karen. Who's getting annoyed with all the stuff that's going on in the Baxter building.
That could be really, if anything Marvel does, they get humor pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty well. So that's something they could definitely add into this movie to expand upon, the lore of Fantastic Four and make it just like a nice little callback.
Oh, yeah. And also, what the heck is it? They definitely need the character who plays the mailman, a.k.a. Willie, who was in the 2005 movie, played by Stan Lee. Mm-hmm. Wonderful little cameo.
Wonderful. One of his shorter ones. Yeah. Let's see. So going ahead a little bit, there's like a lot of little things that happen. Like, Johnny breaks his quarantine, goes to the X Games or whatever the hell it is.
Well, speaking of that, though, like Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, I think he did a really good job. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, he's all right.
Again, out of what live action movies there are, yes, probably best one so far.
Yeah. And I mean, there's always those rumors that like he's going to come back as the Human Torch or something for a cameo somewhere.
Perfect opportunity would have been in Doctor Strange, but I don't know why they didn't do it. Like,
no, you got caught up in all the hype stuff with that.
I know, but it's like when you say you're Marvel and you're coming up with this idea, Multiverse of Madness is the title. That if you're a creative person, that would kind of turn some gears. Like, oh, we can include this, and there's really no consequences because even if they die, which is what they did in the movie, they killed everybody. That like they can still come back later. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like they gave us. I mean, they gave us some things, but
it's a tease. It's a little tease.
True,
for what's to come.
But there are rumors that we're going to see a lot more of stuff like that in
Secret Wars.
Yes, Secret
Parts
Wars.
1 and 2.
Which is awesome that they're doing that.
Wait, I thought it was
what?
Kang Dynasty, then Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And so it's Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars 2?
Yes.
As far as I know.
Sweet.
Yep. I'm not 100% on the second one. I don't know if that's a rumor or anything right now. I could be completely wrong, but I think they did announce there's going to be a Secret Wars Part 2.
Okay.
So, yeah. But yeah, no, I like the whole relationship between Johnny and Ben in this. They did that really well.
Oh, yes,
They
great.
were the best two actors of the four. So,
Yeah, I can agree with that.
yeah. Or of the five, I guess, if you want to count Doom. There were some good lines in this movie. Okay, now I'm going to kill him. Second one. Playing Twister with your girlfriend while I'm the freak of the week. What a line that was.
Yeah.
These are both bad and grim, by the way. And then it's all Ben. It's all Ben Grimm, these lines.
Well, actually,
He gets the best lines.
One line that I really enjoyed, which is just before the cosmic storm happens, where they're up on the space station. Doom is about to propose to Susan Storm.
Yes.
Where he's like, a lot of men say that I'm going to, give the world to you, and it's just a metaphor. He's like, well, for me, it's not just a metaphor. It was something like that. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he opens up the bay, like, was it the protective barrier door, and now you're able to see the entire planet. Which is, it's a wonderful hint back to the old school metaphor, but B, for Doom, he's being serious because remember, he wants to take over the world, so he wants to give the world to his loved one, aka Susan Storm, at the moment. So, I thought that was a fun little line.
I think it's funny because it's like this is like it's a comic book movie. It's supposed to not be taken seriously, but sometimes it's like I don't know how to describe this kind of dialogue, but it's like realistic or like adult-ish. I don't know, like say terms like technical terms that you don't quite understand, but they pull it off correctly. It just sounds like it's more important than it actually is. And then other times you have like logic leaps where it's like John, in the snowboarding scene, Johnny's like going down the hill and he lights on fire. It's like, you're on fire, thank you. And he's like actually on fire, and then he flies, and then he just in a cavern or like a crater of where he burned all the snow off, and he's naked, and then they're just like, want to do it? Like, and then she's like, her girlfriend is like, doesn't care.
She drops the skis.
Yeah, it's just like, you know what I mean?
I don't know how to describe this movie. It's just like, I don't know, anticlimactic, I think I'd have to say, actually. The ending is very anticlimactic.
The fact that they just, beat him?
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly. It's like, wow.
Well, I mean, the same thing happens in the 2015 film as well.
I never finished that. Never finished it.
I watched it alone in a theater, and the most entertaining thing about it was that there's a little barbecue sauce stain on the projector screen. So it just kept distracting me the whole time.
Yeah, there's a barbecue sauce. How did a barbecue sauce stain get on the screen, Danny?
It was not a very well represented or reputable theaters.
This is the one you worked at?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Sounds like you didn't do a good job.
But as
They're closed now, so it doesn't matter.
Well, although going back to the 2015 film, one of the reasons why I didn't like that Doom was like they basically took the Negative Zone, Doom, and Galactus and combined it into one thing, and I was like, this is not good.
No.
But so I understand from a comics perspective that it's like there's so much better stuff out there, but I'm going back to because I saw this movie with like my mom rented it on Vudu or whatever, and I remember really enjoying it as a kid because I was just a dumb kid. I didn't know anything, and it was such an early time for comic book movies. Other than Spider-Man, there really wasn't anything that was like, premiere. I don't know. X-Men is kind of cheesy for me, but So Spider-Man is like the top tier, and then Fantastic Four is like, oh, okay, because we had Ghost Rider, like it's.
Hey, do not knock the Nick Cage Ghost Rider movies.
Let's ride.
You can knock the second one though all you want, because that one is terrible.
So the ending, like they all use their powers correctly against him. Av's never worked as a team before like that, and just froze him.
Well, the thing that I even find surprising is like, let's go back to the scene on the bridge.
Yeah.
Where like, was it all of them use their powers for the very first time and use them like as if they've been practicing them for years. It's like, you don't know what you're doing.
There are going to be casualties when you're using your powers out for the first time.
Exactly.
And I don't think, let's look at Spider-Man in 2002. Like, he couldn't get his powers right away. He couldn't figure that shit out, except for, I guess, climbing the wall.
Yeah.
That's
true.
easily,
but yes, he definitely had difficulties using his webs because like at one point he's like, go web. Yeah.
Go, Web, go.
Shazam. Put away, Web.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, that's why, kids have to go to, Xavier's school for the gifted because they need to learn how to use their powers.
Well, the thing is, these guys are also older in the comics when they start. And now these guys are in like their young 30s. Like they're supposed to be like their older 40s. I guess Johnny could be in his early 30s, maybe.
I took it as like he was like 20. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they did in the movie, but in the comics, I'm saying. In the comics, they are much older when they get their powers.
I think you're right, but I don't... Yeah, I'd have to go back and look, but yeah, I believe you're right.
Like in most iterations of the Fantastic Four.
Do you guys remember when Batman Beyond parodied or like tried to make their own Fantastic Four?
Oh,
No.
yes, I do remember that episode. It is a weird episode.
Yeah.
But an interesting episode. However, just because, Dan, you mentioned the original comic books, when I was going back and looking through it, the original drawing of the Human Torch is so weird. It like, at least with like nowadays what we're used to seeing like, at least like an outline of like a human figure in the flames. In the original drawing, it was just flames. So it's just like this.
It's just a fireball coming out.
Yeah, it's just like a fire that's kind of in like the the image of a body, but it's just flames. There's no image of a person in there. So it's just a giant ball of fire talking to you.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I was like, okay, I'm glad that they improved on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like, so that was the first drawing of the Human Torch, but Johnny Storm wasn't the first iteration, right? Like, because they have like a little cameo of it in Captain America: The First Avenger. I think they're at like the little tour or whatever.
I think so. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up, but yeah, you're probably right that like they appeared in something else first.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I am doing stuff. I am looking for things.
I thought you were going to...
I am looking for stuff.
I don't know.
I'm looking for our next thing to talk about. Hold on.
Doctor Strange... no. Doctor Doom, though.
Yes, what about him?
So, what... You said that he can do magic. Mm-hmm. But does he, like... does he go to Kamar-Taj? How does he understand what magic is? Like,
I think because much like Reed Richards, Doom is a scientist and he does an incredibly a lot of research because he is also one of the smartest people on the planet. And so I think it's just the fact that like he gets interested in the the dark magic arts that he just starts doing a ton of research and becomes a I don't know about like Sorcerer Supreme level, but he definitely gets way up there. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, he could battle a bit as far as like between Doctor Strange or was it the Scarlet Witch? He could take him on. I don't know if he could beat them, but he can hold his own. So
yeah. I'm trying to remember. Is he in? At the end of Spider-Man, the animated series, right? It's like season 5. There's like they do Secret Wars.
Yes.
Is he the villain?
He is in it because he is one of the villains that they bring to the planet. I don't remember. I'm sorry. What was the question? Does he win? Did you say?
No. Like, is he? He's one of the villains, though, right? Like,
yes, he is one of the. He is one of the villains because he's the one they have to face at the end because he does stuff with the Beyonder.
Oh yeah. So wait, do we think Beyonder is going to be in Secret Wars? Like the?
Oh yeah, no. It's been teased that the Beyonder is probably the main villain of Avengers: Secret Wars, and which means potentially we might also be seeing Madam Web.
Yes, and we're getting that movie. So I mean, it's real cool.
I only know Madam Web from the animated series. So is Dakota Johnson even like a good pick, or like are they doing something completely out there?
Well, she's playing a different version of Madam Web.
I don't really know too much about what they're doing with Madam Web so far, but just a quick little side note: did you know that in the animated series, Madam Web, the voice actress who played her, was Stan Lee's wife?
No.
Oh, that's really cool. That's
funny. Yeah. I know they just cast Emma Roberts in the movie as well. I don't know what she's doing in it, but...
Emma Roberts?
Yeah, they cast her in Madam Web as well.
That's cool.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of... I mean, she always plays a bitch character, so...
She's going to be Spider-Gwen. I don't
know. Maybe.
Only time will tell.
All right, back to the ending of this movie.
Yes.
So, then, after all that, Reed ends up proposing to Sue, which... They didn't really go into their backstory too much in this movie, so like I find it so hard to believe that she's going to say yes to that. But I don't know, it just very quick.
I know you said something about that. Doom likes Sue Storm, right?
Yes.
And well, obviously Reed and Sue are there a thing. Is there like a love triangle type thing regularly in the comics, or because I noticed that was kind of a big thing in this movie.
I didn't read far enough to find that out, but I want to say yes because I think the main reason that was it Doom wanted her was just because, so that Reed couldn't have her.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So, do we know why? Is it just like I'm smarter than you, blah blah blah, like like ego thing that they hate each other, or is there like some sort of event that happened?
A little bit, mainly with Doom. Like as I said, there was like the science accident as far as scarring him. But it's also the fact, yes, it's very much an ego thing where was it Victor is always trying to prove to that he is smarter than Reed. Which yes, Victor Von Doom can outwit him, outclever him, but Reed is always textbook smart, more intelligent than he is, which is why they always win.
So here's kind of like my wish list, because I know that Reed Richards is kind of a dickbag in the comics. So what I really want to see is like almost like how Doom tends to be, it's like he doesn't give a fuck, like he doesn't care about collateral damage, he just wants to get a means to an end, right?
Yes.
I want to see Reed Richards do the same thing, but the opposite. So he's like, Doom is doing this shit, we got to do anything we can to stop him, and then that kind of causes tension with the family. I'm sure there's been a story like that in the comics somewhere, right?
Well, funny you say that. I'm not sure about in the comic books, which I'm sure you're obviously right. I'm sure they've done it. But have you ever seen the show Venture Brothers? Because they do a kind of like a different variation of the Fantastic Four in their little show, where it's kind of similar to what you're talking about. But
okay.
But what the heck is it? Their Fantastic Four is a little messed up. Where, like, for instance, the Human Torch, he's always on fire, except what the heck is it? So he can't turn it on or off, and he can feel it. So like instead, like all of his nerve endings can actually feel him being on fire.
Yo.
So they have to put him in this like containment unit. So basically, he's like in a coma without air. So like he's being fed air into like his nostrils and stuff like that. But like
so he can't light up because of the oxygen.
Yep. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, I highly recommend Venture Brothers. It's a great show.
So you don't. So obviously he's immune to his own fire. Do you don't think that he would just get like used to it eventually, or like,
Perhaps, but like, was it the character Dr. Venture accidentally wakes him up, and he immediately just starts screaming like and like and Dr. Venture has no idea what's going on, because like it's like, oh my god, I just accidentally woke this guy up and now he's on fire.
What the fuck happened?
Oh, and also with was it the Invisible Woman in that show? She can turn invisible, but the only part of her that she can turn invisible is her skin. So you just see all of a sudden this woman skin turn invisible. You can see all of her muscles and all of her veins and like the blood going through her body. It's really freaky.
Gross.
Yep.
It's just like useless powers, like
pretty much. But anyways, I took us off on a tangent. Going back to was the 2005 movie. We were talking about like you mentioned the scene where he proposes to Susan Storm, which I found out the two scenes that they're on that boat is very interesting, because like, he makes a joke about like, oh, perhaps you wish I was like, a stronger man. And he makes that like, jawline. Well, in a deleted scene, he actually makes a face of Wolverine.
Yeah, I heard of this.
And what the heck is it? He makes a face very close to Hugh Jackman. I ended up finding out that it actually was Hugh Jackman. They made a cameo, but they ended up deleting it because apparently Hugh Jackman I think he was offered the role, but turned it down because he went for Wolverine. Mm-hmm. And what the heck was it? I also ended up finding out for those scenes where they shot on the boat, like was it the the actor who played Mr. Fantastic and Jessica Alba weren't even in the same room. They weren't even in the same country. They actually had to like green screen it and digitally impose them together.
Huh.
So yeah, that was
movie magic.
Yep, pretty much.
All right, so what you just said about Hugh Jackman could be a really cool thing. So if Hugh Jackman was cast as Reed Richards,
yes,
Marvel also 3 years before Iron Man wanted Robert Downey Jr. to play Dr. Doom.
Oh,
Well, imagine what that could have been.
I don't know about that one.
that would be very interesting.
Has Robert Downey Jr. ever played like
A villain?
yeah, like but a non-charismatic? Well, I mean, I guess he can be charismatic. I don't know. It's like
Just imagine.
Doom doesn't really hit me like. Robert
going
Downey
off
Jr.
of what he did in with Sherlock Holmes, I could kind of see it a little bit.
I mean, that.
No,
and,
and Sherlock Holmes would almost be more Reed to me because like he's still a good guy. Like, he still has morals.
True.
You know, that's what I'm thinking. Like that's what I'm thinking. Like, am I wrong? Like, is that?
No. You are right. But I don't know. Just maybe just like I can't really think of a role where Robert Downey Jr. has played something similar to Doom.
no, and that would have been interesting to see if they actually did do that because obviously he wouldn't have gotten the Iron Man role.
Yes.
And how that would have changed everything.
Tom
there.
Cruise would have been Iron Man.
No, stop that. Stop that. Yeah, then there's the whole Indiana Jones thing at the very end where, he's on the boat, kind of like in all the crates. He's locked away, just kind of like the storage warehouse at the end of Raiders.
Yeah.
It's a very similar Indiana Jonesy thing.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, also was it another reference? Remember the was it when Doom turns Ben Grimm back, or she turns the thing back into Ben Grimm? The chamber that he has him go in apparently is a representation from the movie The Fly.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, I didn't
Never
find
saw
that.
it.
I didn't find that out until like a couple days ago.
Never saw it.
All right, it's whatever.
I don't like you.
Oh,
Hey,
dang.
hey.
Thumbs fighting words.
That's for horses.
Oh, just bad jokes one after the left on this show.
Okay. Let's. Okay, so obviously the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to have its Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Coming soon. Did you make any year choices for the Fantastic Four?
A little bit. If I had to choose, mine's still going with the fan pick of, I'm sorry, what's his name from The Office?
John Krasinski?
Yeah, I'm still going with him.
Okay.
Just because if they do pick him, my choices for Susan Storm would either be his actual wife, Emily, is it Blunt? Mm-hmm. Either Emily Blunt or go for a complete Office thing where you pick the actress who played
Jenna
Pam.
Fisher?
Yeah.
That'd be weird. Okay.
That'd be weird, but it'd be funny and it'd be cool.
Okay. And what about the others? Have you thought about Ben, Johnny, and Doom?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that.
Okay. It's fine.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that, but yes, Doom I find is probably the most important just because they haven't perfected him yet. And so Doom would be important, even though I didn't really think about who I would pick.
Well, we posted something on our Twitter about a year ago about our picks for the Fantastic Four. I don't know if they've changed for you, Danny, but I'm going to read them off.
Probably have.
I'm going to read them off.
Oh, yeah, because I forgot what they.
So, this is what I was looking for earlier, by the way. So, our pick for Reed Richards was Glenn Howerton from Always Sunny.
Oh, I stand by that. I stand by that.
Yeah, he's the one that plays Dennis in Always Sunny.
Okay.
Then for Sue Storm, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Okay.
Eh.
I like Emily Blunt better, yeah.
Okay. This one I think we're keeping. Johnny Storm, Dacre Montgomery.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Ben Grimm, Jesse Plemons, Fat Damon himself.
Oh.
I think you know what, because Ben has like the has the actual like tragedy story, like he has the most like acting to do, I think, like on a dramatic level. So Jesse Plemons, because I know he can act. So,
but we don't know if he would actually go for an MCU role like this. I don't think it's really his wheelhouse.
He seems like an indie kind of guy,
an indie / Oscar bait kind of guy. And for Doom, this is Danny's pick, Andrew Scott.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect. Go me.
Yeah. Andrew Scott. He's from Sherlock, right?
Yes, he's Moriarty.
Moriarty, yeah. So those were our picks for who we had. There's a recent rumor going around about Dev Patel being Mr. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. I do like that, but he's a little young, I think.
Dev Patel being.
He's the one that was in the Green Knight.
Dr. Doom, right?
No, for Reed Richards.
Ooh, maybe.
Yeah, that one's been going around a little bit recently.
I keep hearing Penn Badgley though.
I am also hearing Penn Badgley. If you actually ends.
They're on season 4, part 1, like the finale, I guess. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I still like. Oh, and then Diego Luna was also brought up recently too.
He's got Andor.
Let's see. I think there's another one I saw. Adam Driver. That's another big one going around too about playing Reed Richards.
No.
I can see it if he cut his hair, but I don't think he's going to cut his hair.
I do hope they keep the what is Ben's girlfriend? I think it's Alicia is the blind woman.
Yeah.
I do hope they keep that character in there as well because like that is a good ground or character that helps ground Ben Grimm is when he becomes the Thing.
Yes.
Ground.
Oh boy. Well, anyway,
Like Pokemon.
Okay. I think we're wrapped. Paul, you got anything else in all your research that you've done that you want to talk about?
No, that's pretty much it. But as I said, for a better planet, vote Doom.
Perfect.
Good point.
Perfect. All right. So, Danny, let's start with you for this. What do you give this movie?
I don't want to watch this again. I liked it for what it was. I'm not like expecting, Endgame here, but I'm gonna give it like a 70. It's all right.
70.
Yeah.
Okay. Paul?
I'd probably give it like a 75.
Yeah. I was also thinking 75 as well. So,
Yep.
yeah. The movie's all right. It's
Again, as far as out of the live action options that we have, it is the better one of like the three.
Oh, definitely agree. Yeah.
Because we only have the one from 94, the one from 2004, and the one from 2015. So
If I remember correctly, the one from 94 just wasn't released, right?
that is correct. It was never released. The only way I was able to watch it was I had to get a copy of it. And I wasn't able to watch the documentary about it. But, the fact that the crew, the editors, the cast, no one knew that it was never going to be released. They were just taping it, they were just filming it, making it so that they didn't lose the rights.
Wow. That's sad.
wow.
Which, can be said for some other films, but at least those films got released.
True.
Not
Very
Batgirl.
true.
That is also true. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Too soon.
Yep.
Well, this was very interesting. Very interesting discussion. Very off track discussion, but there's not really much to talk about with this movie overall. It's a blend of superhero quirkiness, and I really wish they had more trouble with their powers and actually the bridge scene make that more not necessarily collateral damage, but make it a learning lesson for them as a team.
Yes.
That would have been cool to see.
Well, who knows? Hopefully, MCU does a great job with the Fantastic Four. Who knows? Maybe fourth time will be the charm.
Maybe the fourth time will be the charm, and I love how we're continuing this.
That sounds fantastic.
Okay, well, next week.
Oh yeah, you lied.
Ant-Man.
You lied.
I did lie last time. This was supposed to. I said that Ant-Man was next. I forgot we were doing Fantastic Four until I was in Philadelphia. But yes, next week.
He broke it.
He's got a head. Anyway.
What the hell?
Anyway, so we're Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle @SeenItBeforecast. That's SCENE, Beforecast, and on Twitter with the handle SIB_pod. I'm Dan.
I'm Danny. You can find me on Instagram at Danny_Was, my letterbox and serialize at DJ Was, or my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Was. Hi, Ant-Man.
Oh God! Please don't break the cap one. That's the new one.
Wait, which one?
Oh no!
They're both capped.
I fixed him. For the record, I fixed him. He's good.
Sure.
He's good. See.
Okay.
All right. Fade to black.
Anyway, but yeah, it's been an honor as usual. We will see you for Quantumania next time.